everyone, I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to make this Rounduo Repeat Bracelet, which can be made into a nice necklace, lanyards. You can even take a little component and make it into an earring set as well. If you need any supplies like your Rounduo beads, go ahead and check below the video. In the video description, there's a little button that says show more. Click that and that'll get you a link to all of the supplies that you need. Gather up your materials and let's get started. To begin our design, we have 8-0 seed beads, 11-0 seed beads, and our Rounduo beads. This can be done with other beads in the center, like round trios if you want to, but here is a good start. I have a stop bead on some size 8 dragon thread in the green color with a size 10 needle, and I'm going to add 4 beads to begin right angle weave onto my needle. Going back through those beads, I'm going to go back through beads 1, 2, and 3, exiting my thread and needle before bead number 4. That creates my first little right angle unit there. The first one is always a little bit hard to hold, but you're creating basically a block of 4 beads. From here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my Rounduo bead. So my Rounduo bead that I'm adding, I'm going to add prior to this 1 11-0, then I'm going to add my Rounduo bead through that one hole there on the exterior. From here, I'm going to add a little decor or decoration on the side, but prior to doing so, we're going to add one more 11-0, one 8-0, and one 11-0, and come down through the second side here of my Rounduo. Once you're down through that second side of the Rounduo, I want you to get one more 11, and then this bead that our thread is currently coming out of, you're going to go into the opposite side and out through the 11-0 along the side. What that's going to do is perfectly position those beads right at the end of that right angle weave unit. We're going to bring in the camera a little bit so you can see it a little bit more detail here. We're going to decorate along the side with some extra beads now. 1 and 2 11-0s followed by 1 8 and 2 more 11s, and we're going to sew up and around through to the other side. That just pops those on the exterior there. Through to the other side, down through the 8, down through the 11. Same thing here on this side, 1 and 2 11s, 1 8, 1 and 2 11s more, and then again through those beads. That's going to decorate the exterior of the Rounduos in one style. We're then going to decorate in another style as well. But what we need to do is get to the opposite side. I'm going to go through the 11-0 prior to the Rounduo here, through the Rounduo, into the 11-0 after the Rounduo, and up into the 8-0 seed bead. Once I'm in the 8-0 seed bead here, we're going to do a right angle weave connection. So I have one bead that's already on that my thread is coming out of, and I'm going to add 3 more beads. The thread's coming out there to the left of that 8-0 seed bead. I add 3 beads and I'm going to go into the right and over towards the left where my thread is already exiting. From here, you can see I kind of spun it in my hands just so it's in the same direction. But what you're going to do is you're going to get to that top or that rightmost bead, if you're laying it on the side here, of that right angle weave. So you're just taking your needle and thread. So you're exiting through what I'm going to call that rightmost bead. That is our most simple design. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit more intense from there as well, but starting out with the exact same pattern. So the exact same pattern here that we're starting out with is 1 11-0, followed by our Rounduo, followed by an 11 8 11. We're going to come down through the opposite side of that Rounduo bead, add 1 more 11, and sew into the opposite side of the 8 that our thread was originally coming out of. Now, here's where we change it up a little bit. We're going to go through that 11-0, just like we did here. And on this side, we did 2 seed beads leading out to the exterior. Now what we're going to do is just 1 seed bead and 1 8-0, followed by 1 seed bead. That's going to keep it a little bit closer to the side. And we're going up through the bead here. And on the top here, what I need to do is go out through the 8, and I need to get another unit of right angle weave to the top. 3 more beads go on here, and I'm sewing back through that bead that my thread is currently coming out of to make that next right angle weave. Down through the 11 on the side here. And we're going to add 111, 18, 111. As I do so, I'm going to go through the 11 and then through the 8 as well on the opposite side of the round duo. Bringing your thread and needle there, you can see how tight that is along the side versus a little bit more open there. And what I'm going to do is sew up into the right angle weave then, going through the next bead of that right angle weave, through the connector bead, and I'm going to come down through the last right angle weave bead. As you're there, you're going to build up the sides a little bit more of the unit. So you're going to do here 1, 2, 3, and 4 11s, and then we're going to go into the 8 OC bead along the side. See how that just kind of decorates that exterior there? 1, 2, 3, 4 11s into that right angle weave bead that sits on the side. Just like that. Go over then, so you're coming out through that 8 OC bead at the bottom. And we're going to decorate this side as well too. 1, 2, 3, and 4 11s, catching on to that 8. If it's a little tight, you can add a 15 as well as your last bead here. 1, 2, 3, 4 11s, and up and into that right angle weave unit. And there you go. So that gets a little bit more decorated. We're going to go through that right angle weave, bead right there, down through the side here. Oops, sorry. And then again, we just need to get basically to the opposite side. So how are we getting to the opposite side? We're going to go through the 8-0. That's right before the round duo, as well as 1 11-0. We're going to go into the round duo bead. Hole that's on that same side. Going into the 11-0 and into the 8-0 that's right after it. From here, up into that right angle weave, into this last bead on the right hand side. That's it. It's the same thing over and over. Now what I'm going to do is repeat this first right angle unit where I'm doing an 11, round duo, 11, 8, 11, down through the opposite side of the round duo, popping that 8 OC bead kind of on the exterior. When I'm out there, I add an 11 and I sew into the opposite side of the 8 OC bead that my thread was coming out of when I added the round duo bead. From here, here's where we make it punch out a little bit further, and we add 2 seed beads, 1 and 2, 1, 8, 1 and 2 seed beads, and up through the right angle weave. While you're here, if you want to, so you establish always adding the right angle weave, you can add 3 beads, go back through that 8 OC bead, and then also back through the 11 that sits along the side. Add 1 and 2 11s, 1, 8, 1 and 2 11s, and then down through the 11, 8 on the opposite side. Once you're down through there, you're going to go through the 11, through the round duo, through the 11 that sits on the side, through that right angle weave, all the way till we get ready to add our next round duo bead. The next round duo bead is added then the same way, using the 11 round duo going the opposite way, and then we just connect to those outer sides. So you can always slow this YouTube video down or keep going to push through. These are awesome stacker bracelets where you can make a bunch of them and wear them together too. Once you're finished with your bracelet, you can see how nice it looks on the wrist. It's also a great one for a necklace too, or a choker. I'm going to use just a simple toggle on the side here. You can use a clasp guarding clasp. I toyed around with using a button clasp. I'm coming out of my last right angle weave unit, just like we started here. And I picked up 8 of my 11 OC beads because they fit through my toggle or toggle bar. I'm going to then go back through the 8 OC bead here, And what I do on this side, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Going back through then those 8 seed beads, getting a couple strands in here. Again, went back and forth with using a wire guardian, and I thought the seed bead loop would look good with it. I'm going to go through one more time, reinforcing that thread going through there. And then once I have the 3 strands of that size 8 thread going through there, it's time to go back into the project and sew back into it in order to get rid of my thread. So coming back here, I'm going to go back into the right angle weave. And what I'm going to do is tie off my thread somewhere where you really can't see it. So I'm going to go through the 11-0 seed bead right here. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Go through the Rounduo. And when I get to the other side of the Rounduo, I'm going to sneak underneath the bridge thread. The bridge thread is the thread that connects one bead to the other. I'm going to sew underneath there, which makes a little loop. This loop here I'm going to sew through once, and I'm going to sew through twice, making a sewer's knot. Pull it nice and tight towards the project, pulling the thread, not the needle right there. Once I have that, I'm going to take my thread zap or my thread burner and just burn that on down off the end here, and then I'm going to burn the thread end. Got to replace my battery here. I'm going to burn the thread end then down next to the Rounduo bead as well. Once I do that, I'm going over to the other side to do the exact same thing. Thanks so much for joining me in creating that fun Rounduo Repeat Bracelet, going in and out. I can't wait to see all of the different colors that you make in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. As always, if you haven't yet, hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Remember, if you do need more supplies, look below the video in the video description, and it'll have links when you hit that Show More button to get back to our website. Thanks so much for joining. Have fun making your Rounduo Repeat Bracelet, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.